Hello and welcome to Fonts Cafe. In this tutorial we will show you how to use the action created by us to add a vintage scratchy effect to your projects. This set is composed of 10 different patterns and we have provided 10 Photoshop actions to automatically apply the patterns to your design elements. We will demonstrate utilizing one of these actions and patterns. In order for the actions and patterns to work properly, you must install them first on your system. If you are using a Mac-based computer, you will need to open up Finder. Then you will need to go to your hard drive, select Users, your name, then go to Library, Application Support, Adobe, Photoshop, Presets, and then you will need to open up the file that you downloaded from our site. So let's open a new window here. And you will need to copy the action file into the actions folder, which has the .atn file extension. You will then need to do the same for the patterns file, which has the .pat file extension. And if you are using a Windows-based computer, depending upon your operating system, you will need to get to My Computer so you can access your hard drive. Once you are at your hard drive, you will need to select Program Files, Adobe, Photoshop, Presets, and then copy the files into the Patterns and Actions folder. Alright. Then we can go back to our project here. Let's go to the Actions palette here with the play button. And we will need to load the action. So go to the little menu up here and go to Load Actions. And then we've got the file in there. So you can go ahead and open that. We now have those actions loaded. You will also want to make sure that the patterns are installed. One way you can do this is to even sort of double click the file back in your Finder. Another way to check that the patterns are loaded, we can go up here to Layer, New Fill Layer, Pattern, say OK, and you can check here. And it looks like, see, these are some of the patterns that we've provided you. If it didn't load there, you can do the little arrow right there and say Load Patterns. Okay, let's go ahead and cancel out of all this. Now let's see these actions in action. First, let's make sure that the layer is selected with our original artwork that we want to apply the action to. Then we'll go to the Action palette and we'll open up the Distressed Texture Overlay set. Let's just select this first one and hit the play button. Alright, and now we have a nice vintage scratchy effect applied to our original image here. And you can see here that we have a mask layer and then another working layer that we can do some different effects to. The nice thing about this action is it doesn't actually touch the original image. So here, let's actually go through a couple ways that we can customize this effect. One of the first things you can do is you can change the color of the scratches here. You can pick through the color selector, maybe see some different options, or if you already have some other colors picked out depending upon your project, you can select those and we'll hit OK. Another thing we can do is change the opacity of this mask layer, and that will either decrease the effect of the scratches on the image, or we can bring it back up to its full effect here. So maybe we'll just tone it down for this. We can also mess with the layer blending mode that we have here on this working layer. See, we've got it set at overlay. Let's see what lighten will do. Sort of changes that up a little. You can maybe try multiply, give you a different effect there. Alright, we'll move it back to overlay, which also, if you wanted, you could change the opacity of this layer, maybe sort of bring back in some of your original image color here. We can also color the background and also this background layer. Kind of see what that does to the artwork here. We might even try using a different color. Let's go back and look at the colors we have here. Let's see what effect that has, to sort of change the look of this. You can see how that sort of changes that. And there are just some of the ways that you can customize these actions that we provided you. We hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial and come back to Fonts Cafe.